at the area where they have picnic tables and another bathroom, because back there they had a north end restaurant, and which is the northern end of the park. But to some, it may be the back end of the park because they say, hey, this is the end of the park. Let's turn around and go back. But if you do your mapping, it's the northern end of the park. And the trees and beautiful trees. Um, most parks are basically open daily, with the exception of a few that may have days where they are closed, maybe a day or two closed, and their hours varies. So you will have to check with your state park, and even if you're not from the South Florida area, visit a state park and you know enjoy your parks. Visit wherever city, wherever state you're from, visit a state park and learn about your state parks. Because as I told you earlier, all state parks are parks that has history, regardless if it's local history or national, like statewide county history. Because the national parks has history all over, meaning this has some world U.S. history on it. The state parks has local and state history. Like most of the state parks are from people who have had businesses and who are businessmen, or houses that's been built in the 1800s and stuff like that. So that's what state parks are for. Yes, you have historical houses within your cities and states and counties, but you will have to list them. But most of these state parks are a land that used to be owned by a very famous person, businessman or historian, and they have been donated to the state for preservation, and then eventually it becomes a state park. Now online this says that this park became a park in 1941. Now, from what was told, his house was built in 1940. Now, I'm going to do more of my research on that, because now that's only a year. So basically, they're telling you he was only here for a year. It's impossible. Now, other than that, a lot of these parks offer a lot of amenities. I'm going to go through some of the amenities now as we speak, so you can get an understanding. Because once you enter the park, they give you, you have fresh lake water, you have an intercoastal waterway, which is what we've seen in the back, the Atlantic Ocean, which is basically the beach, our oceanfront dining, which is probably the restaurant you're going to see after a while. You can walk, jog, run, or exercise, which is basically the nature trail. Wildlife exploration, which is that you can go in and look at wildlife, because there's creatures and stuff throughout the dunia. I have not seen any, but I'm sure they're in the woods and in the vicinity of the woods. They have walk the family pet, which you can, of course, walk your family pet. They have picnic and barbecue areas, which is what one of the areas I'm at now is a picnic area, pavilion. Rental, which is adventure rentals, which is bikes, Segway tours, jet skis, kayaks, and canoes, beach chairs, and umbrellas, paddle boats, and more, which is basically what most parks have. They have a ranger guided tours. They have a tour Terramar house, which is basically Hugh Taylor's house. They have a full moon mangrove canoe tours, live animal program, audio tour. You can swim and snorkel. Swim and snorkel, basically that means you're going onto the Fort Lauderdale beach, because you can't swim and stuff in these waters, because these waters are basically like swamp waters. They're dirty, the mangrove trees growing in them and stuff like that. So basically, and Park and Ocean is the name of the park. Name of the restaurant. And this is the map of the park that they give you when you come in. The park fees is $2 for foot, bike, rollerblades, and individuals, meaning you're coming in by yourself. $4 for single car occupation, $6 for group and a car, meaning that if you're one person and you're in your car, you're only paying $4. The group in a car, the maximum is $6. The hours are from 8 a.m. to sunset. So, and they have a mid-trail audio tour. So you can scan it and get an audio tour. So what I'm going to do now is going to take a brief, because I'm going to head back onto a nature trail to head back, and by the time I reach the nature trail, we'll probably be at the front end of the park, with the restaurants and everything where we're at, because we're halfway to the front. We're near the area where the train used to go to. So by now, I'm going to be heading back on. So I'm going to take a quick break, because all my quick breaks are happening because I'm walking through nature trails. And as you know, majority of my shows used to be only 30 minutes or less for my shows. My history parks shows are going to be a little bit longer because of the trails that I go through with the nature trails. And when I go to the state parks, that's just only with the state parks. So to avoid wasting time and by you just seeing me walk, I skip through, and throughout the show, you're going to see me going forward. You're going to see me enter a nature trail, and then you're going to see me, when I get back on the show, exiting a nature trail, because it makes no sense for me to actually walk through the nature trail with a show and all you're seeing is trees and everything. And basically, I just gave you a little history through that nature trail, because that's, I have to give you a history of the show. But like I said, we're going to take a quick, brief break, and we're going to come back to the show, and by that time, I will be probably near the front end of the park. And this is Ron Table Talk. We'll be back. Hey, welcome back to the Ron Table Talk. I just want to show you something right quick. I told you before, when we was going to take a break, we was going to be back. I'm here in one of the nature trails that is not marked. This is the nature trail that is not marked by a sign stating the nature trail. So I'm letting you know, like I told you earlier, a lot of the nature trails are not marked with signs. So it is a caution. It is a caution for you to use these nature trails. Now they have signs that say like live oak here and stuff like that, and they have like little information such like restoration fern, and they're not marked. I don't know. It's because the signs was destroyed or that they was never put up. And one thing you want to actually stay clear of also is the trees and everything out here, because you don't know poison ivy, you don't know the trees and stuff, you don't know everything out here. So you want to stay clear of that as well. But I'm on one of the nature trails which was not marked. Now it is a nature trail, and you will find some areas in some state parks that will have a nature trail. That's if the parks have a nature trail. That if the parks are huge, you will have some areas of the park that will have nature trails that are not marked nature trails. So you will have to be on the alert of if this is a good area to walk in. So this is a good area to walk in because I see it, and they have little notes, like little side notes. I'm going to show you another one, a little side note. Like here, it says area garden. And so you're going to see side notes throughout here. Most of these nature trails lead to roads. Now look, there is a two-way nature trail. There's one here and there's one here. I'm going to go this way because that nature trail, that part of the nature trail leads to a parking area. So basically, that's why I say, if you do go to it, and maybe there is a sign for this nature trail somewhere throughout the nature trail. Because a lot of these nature trails are miles long, and people walk it because they enjoy looking at the trees and the wildlife and stuff like that. And some people walk it for the exercise, because nature trails, there's like endless walks to where you can get a good exercise. Only thing is, you have to be careful with these nature trails. You might run into some spider webs and other things like that. So you have to be careful when you're going through these nature trails, because you never know, a spider web may be around, and you have to get yourself out of the spider web and get yourself, oh, there's a nature trail right there. But I'm going to go out this way because most likely I'm nearing towards the entrance of the park. That was an interesting nature trail because it was not marked. Now over here it may be marked, and we are close towards the beginning of it. Yeah, this area, and this is not really a nature trail. It says certain spots. Yeah, we're near the front of the The front of the park, yes. We're near, really near like the front of the park. And I'm going to show you the areas and I'm going to show you the Birch house, the Hugh Taylor house. Um, like here it says walk to restaurant, beach rentals, 88 parking, Elks Youth Camp, the main loop road, which is the intercoastal pavilions and the parking and the beach parking and the garden center. So basically, this is where majority of the people go. I'm going to take a leisure through here. And there's a mini nature trail right there, but I'm not worried about that. Now, I'm going to kick you a little closer to where this at. Now, I can see over the waterway that you can see the little trail where the train was at. Now, what I'm coming up to is the kayaking and paddle boat rentals. It says fishing and swimming prohibited, of course, because this is like swamp water. And this is the area where you can rent paddle boats and kayaks and canoes. And would I do it? Maybe yes, maybe no. But it's something that I wouldn't consider. Okay, let me take you down this way. And basically, this is another road, a trail road. Because remember I told you the trail road leads in a circle. But we will not be taking this trail road because we have toured already. Now, I was telling you about the Birch, that the Hugh Taylor house. Now, the Hugh Taylor house is right here, where you see. This is where Hugh Taylor house is. Now, it's going to tell you. Terramar Visitor Center, Friends of the Birch State Park Administrative Office, which is open 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now, like I said, it is the home where Hugh Taylor stayed at. Now I'm going to take you through Park and Ocean. Beaches, access, and terminal open from 8 a.m. to 7:15 p.m. We're going to go through right now the restaurant. As I told you before, the state park is accessible to the beach. They have a tunnel that you can go under the street to access the beach, or you could just cross the street like most people. And basically, the park is accessible. Now, the one thing about this is this part of the beach, you can access the park this way without having to pay, which is kind of weird and interesting. Kind of weird because why would you access the park this way without, paying? But if you do the main entrance of the park, you will have to pay a fee. But this is the pedestrian way. If you access the park via the other way, it's a park fee. Now we're gonna go back. Not only is it a restaurant, it also is I would say, not a gift shop, but a shop that you can buy suntan lotion, maybe beach towels, beachwear. It has a shop on the one side of the location is a restaurant and a brewery, and another side is basically a shop to buy all your beach supplies. And they also give out free water in one of their coolers. Basically, it's better than a fountain water, which I've tasted earlier, and it's like, no.
No, go up to one towards me. This one.
Okay. Now, you have seen. You've seen the park. Basically, this is a hot spot of Fort Lauderdale. Now, because like I said, it's accessible to the beach. It's there's camping, there's nightlife. I'm gonna go through this little mini trail. And I like the trails because some of the trails are real calming and relaxing. You may find little critters like lizards and little critters and stuff that goes through the trails. Like they say there's supposed to be tortoises, and you can probably find some. This is a mini trail, so it's not as big of a trail, and it's outlined by rocks. So you're walking basically on rocks. If one thing I could say about this, you must have walking shoes for this, because basically this is a walking thing. If you don't have walking, if you cannot walk, this is not for you. I'm gonna go back this way, basically. So basically, this is Hugh Taylor Birch State Park, which sits in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in the county of Broward County. If you want to know, it sits off of Sunrise Boulevard in A1A. If you want to learn more about this park, you want to learn more info on anything about the park, rentals and everything of that nature, you can visit there. You can visit their website. I'm going to give you the website name as right now.
You wouldn't be able to ride it.
Let's see, beach park.
BirchStatePark.org, which is Birch, BIRCH, statepark.org. And basically, that's what you're going to get. Please do not pick up the gopher tortoises. I've told you that earlier. Oh, look, everyone. I don't know if you can see it. There's a tortoise in the area. Oh God, there's a tortoise. I'm going to see if you can see the tortoise. There's a tortoise in the area, which is even better. I like it. This is to me calming and relaxing to me. But I'm now exiting the park, and it was an interesting time in the park. I want to thank y'all for watching our first edition of History South Florida, State Parks, History, Locations, Facts, and Figures. And I want to thank y'all for watching our first episode. This episode is longer than most of our normal episodes, but all of our History South Florida episodes will be kind of longer than usual. So, I once again say, if you have any comments or questions about this episode and any other episode, you can email us, roundtable00@yahoo.com. You can also comment at the bottom of this page if you would like to know anything on this park. Also, you can also visit their website, birchstatepark.org, for any information pertaining to the park. Or you can just also come out and visit the park anytime you want, whenever the park is open. This is a great park. This is an interesting park. This is a park that is for everyone. Everyone is invited. It gives you history. It gives you fun. It gives you entertaining. And it also gives you, it's fun for the entire family. So it's not just for one person. It's not just for two people. It's for everybody. Come out and enjoy everything. Come out and enjoy the park and enjoy all of this. I am C Money. This is the Roundtable Talk. Like I said, thank you for watching this segment of the show. And if you're hungry, I'm going to say this. There is a restaurant on site, but if you're looking for shopping or dining, which will be in one of our next segments, there is a mall there is a bridge, and across the bridge is a mall called Galleria Mall, which is one of the hottest malls out there. So you want to take it in, you want to go in the indoor, you're done, you finished. So yeah, just take it in and have fun. And this is C Money, your host of the Roundtable Talk, and I thank you for watching History South Florida, and see you on the next episode. And I'm out. Bye.